Hey you guys, it's Bunny from BunnyCakes.com, and this is another book haul. So, since my last video, I don't know what happened. My mailbox blew up, I went thrift shopping, have a lot of books, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through them real quick and show you what I got. I'm going to divide it up into sections. First, I'm going to show you the books that I purchased. I have a gift that I can show you this time. And then I'm going to show you all the books that I got for a review. So it is quite a few books. I might end up cutting this into 2 videos. It just depends on how much I end up editing out and all that good stuff. So to start off, I want to show you the purchases that I made. We have a store here in town called the Dollar Tree. Basically, when you go in, everything inside the store is $1. So I popped in looking for some stuff for my kitchen and moseyed on over to the books. Lots of times it's usually just like Bibles and religious fiction and stuff like that. Stuff that's harder to sell, I guess, is what they get in. But when I was in there the other day, they actually had some YA and some adult fantasy. Not that kind of fantasy, stop. And some other things. So I'm going to show you. I picked up 4 books that day. I picked up Turncoat by Jim Butcher. This is actually, I think it's either book 11 or book 13 in the Dresden Files series. If you don't know what the Dresden Files is, it is like a high fantasy. Would it be urban fantasy? I don't know. Dude is a private investigator, I think, and a wizard. They also made a TV show off of this series that ran on the Sci-Fi Channel for a while, which was freaking awesome. I have not read the series. I only had book 1 until I bought this. So now I have book 1, and I guess this is, I don't know, 11 or 13. I can't remember. I did look it up. I want to pick them all up so I can read them all in order, but I kind of want to have them all on hand because if I really like it, like I think I'm going to, I want to be able to put down the one book and just pick up the next one without having a big break in between, if that makes sense. That's kind of how I did the Suki Stackhouse series. I just read them all within like 4 days. It was crazy. So yeah, I picked up Dresden Files for $1. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Love bargain books. I picked up The Strain by Guillermo del Toro. If you don't know who he is a movie producer. He did Pan's Labyrinth, which I thought was amazing. He did the Hellboy movies. He's just really kind of awesome. This has been on my wish list for probably about 3 years. It's book 1 in the Strain series. I think it might be a trilogy. I think there are 3 books in the series. I don't remember, but it's been on my wish list forever. I couldn't believe I found it for $1. So I picked up The Midnight Charter by David Whitley. I don't know what it is. The cover is freaking awesome. It sounds like it's going to be like high fantasy. I don't remember if it was about vampires or wizards. I don't know, I read the back and I was like, oh, it looks awesome, so I bought it. Because it was $1. You can't pass up books for $1, right? And then I picked up Perchance to Dream, which is book 2 in the Eyes Like Stars series. I don't know what the actual series name is. But I've had book 1 for probably about 3 years. I haven't read it because I didn't have the other books. And I picked up the hardcover of book 2 for $1. This is YA. So if you guys have a Dollar Tree in your area, really go check it out. Down the like aisle where they have ink pens and stuff, if you go way down on the end, there's like coloring books for little kids, and a lot of times they'll have hardbacks stuck in there too, and everything in the store is $1. So definitely go support that store. That's a good store. The next batch of books I got at the Salvation Army. If you guys have watched my channel for any amount of time, you know a lot of times my book hauls are thrift hauls. I love going to the Salvation Army. The way I do it, and it seems to work the best, is I only hit them up about once a month because they don't really, get books in all the time. Everything that they get in is a donation. They take the proceeds from what they sell and use it to do good, so why wouldn't I buy there? For one, I'm getting books that I want for way less than what they are retail, and I'm doing kind of good. So, I love it. They don't stock the shelves all the time. They are not in any kind of order. So really, if you're going to go book shopping at the Salvation Army, unless there's a book lover that works there, be prepared to dig through tubs and stuff because they're not in any kind of order. But I had a little time on my hands the other day, and I hadn't been in about 3 months. So I actually picked up a lot of books. The kids were ready to go, and so I had to quit looking. I'm going to go back probably in a couple of days and see what all else is left. But at our Salvation Army, I know all of them are different because the managers get to set the prices. Paperbacks at ours are 50 cents, and hardbacks are $1 or 75 cents. It just depends on the day that you go, which sign is stuck up on the wall. So, but anyway, I got all of these used books, what I just showed you and what I'm fixing to show you, for under $12. So that was not a bad day for me. I picked up a paperback, Certifiably Insane. I believe this is either, I want to say it's horror, but I can't remember if it was based on a true story or not. And I am so sorry I keep fiddling with my hair. It keeps getting stuck in my eyelashes. But this is Certifiably Insane. I picked up Ringer. It says, Not All Birthdays Are Welcome by Jerry Spinelli. This was horror too, and I want to say, I don't remember if it was based on a true story or not. I looked it up online because the synopsis on the back really is only like 5 lines long. It's not very long at all. I picked up book 2 in the 39 Clues series. This is One False Note. I am not familiar with this series. I know it is like lower middle grade. I know it is kind of like Spy Kids. It's kids and mysteries and all that. I have wanted to pick this up since the kids were little enough to read it. I'm glad to be like running across copies everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I've got book 2 and maybe book 5 now. So I'll gradually pick up the whole thing, and then me as an adult will sit down and read it because I like kids' books too. So I don't know. You can't beat that. And they only charge me 50 cents, even though it's a hardback because it's so small. So revamped by J.F. Lewis. Vampire story. Like the cover. It's the larger format paperback. Pretty good condition. You can tell it's been read, but it's not bad. So 50 cents. I'm not complaining. I finally picked up my own copy of the Kite Runner. I had checked this out from the library like 3 different times. I have never read the whole stupid thing. Now that I own a copy, I'm hoping I'll sit down and read it. Or at least if I don't read it all in one setting, I'll be able to read a little bit and mark my page. Because you know, with library books you have to take back. Constantly losing where I was before. So now that I have my own copy, I'll be able to sit down and read it. I picked up The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This was made into a movie. That is the movie tie-in cover. Not read it, not seen the movie. Looking forward to it, though. It is supposed to be amazing, so we'll see what I think about that. I picked up The Divine Secrets of the YaYa Sisterhood, which happens to be one of my favorite movies. Yes, even the horror queen can like a girly flick every now and then. I know what you're thinking. I know. Just let it go. Let it go. I picked up Marley and Me, which I'm sure you all know is also a movie. I've not watched the movie because I don't want to cry. However, I can pass the book up, so I got the book. Maybe I'll read it. I don't know. I just couldn't leave it sitting there. So it was calling me. It was saying, bye me. So I did. So I got that one. I got The Missing Book 3, Sabotage. I love this. This is Turtleback, which you almost never find anymore. So that was pretty interesting. I want to say, I thought this was adult horror, but Brad over at Book YaYa Review corrected me, and he said he thought it was upper middle grade because he had read the first few books in the series. So I'm going to pick the first few books up, and we'll see what happens. It sounds pretty good. I picked up The Bone Vault by Linda Farstein. This is adult, like, thriller mystery, along the same lines of, like, Bones and all that. So that's what this is. Comes The Horseman by Robert LePere. There's his name. I don't know what this is. It reads, the synopsis reads kind of like horror, kind of like urban fantasy, kind of like thriller. So I don't know what it's going to be. I just know the cover was badass and it was a buck. So there you go. The Jillian Secret by Evan Drake Howard. The synopsis on the back of this book put me in the mind of the Da Vinci Code and that type of story. So this is going to be mystery, thriller, blah blah. So I picked it up because it was interesting. And then I also picked up Dead in the Family by Charlene Harris. This made me squeal out loud because the Sookie Stackhouse series, look, book 1 through 9, I did on audiobook, and I did on, like, you know, back to back, like, literally nonstop for like 4 days. I did the Sookie books. So I didn't actually have them in my library. Well, a couple of weeks ago, which I think it was either the last book haul or the book haul before, one of you guys, one of my subscribers and Twitter friends, sent me the newest book that was out, which is the final book in the series, which was awesome, but I don't have any of the other books. So when I saw this one, I was like, yee! So I can get all of the Sookie books, and I want to reread the whole series, like read the words instead of having somebody read it to me before I read the last one. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to try to find me these. So if you see the rest of these books out anywhere really cheap, like, hit me up on Twitter and see if I have any money. And if I do, like, you can pick it up and send it to me, because that would be awesome. And I do not pay full price for books. So that's the only way I'm going to get them, is if you guys help me find them. So, okay, that was all of the purchases. I think what I'm going to do is edit here, and then I'll either splice the rest on, or I'll just put them up to 2 separate videos. So, edit. 3, 2, 1, edit, audio check, testing the audio. Okay. The next batch of books I got, edit, hair in my mouth. Hair in my mouth. uh,